Hello there and welcome. So I hear you're thinking about bringing a dachshund into your home. That's fantastic. They're one of the most recognizable and frankly adored breeds out there. But there's a lot we need to talk about before you make that final decision. So think of this as your official pre-adoption checkup. Let's pull up their chart and get started, shall we?
Oh, and before we dive in, if you find this kind of one-on-one advice helpful, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button for veterinary news. That way, you won't miss out on any of our future guides. All right, let's get back to our little friend, the dachshund.
So what is it about these dogs? People are just completely captivated by them, aren't they? They've got this magnetic personality packed into that, well, very unique long body. Their popularity isn't an accident. So let's take a look at why owners become so fiercely loyal to these little guys.
I mean, this quote from an owner just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? A dachshund's loyalty, it's just on another level. They don't just become your pet. They form this incredibly deep, unshakable bond with their favorite person. It's more than companionship. It's absolute, pure devotion.
And here's the other side of the coin, the hilarious duality of the dachshund. One minute, they're this little comfort-seeking missile, burrowed so deep in the blankets you can't even find them. The next minute, they're a fearless warrior who has absolutely no idea they're small, ready to take on a full-grown bear for you. It's that quirky, brave, and loving mix that just wins people over every time.
But where does that larger-than-life personality actually come from? Well, it's not random, it's by design. To really truly understand a dachshund, you have to look past that charming exterior and see the relentless hunter that's still inside. This is a dog that was literally bred to face down badgers in dark tunnels all by themselves.
This is a point I try to make with every potential owner. People are so quick to call them stubborn, but that's not quite right. You have to remember, they were bred to make life or death decisions on their own, underground, with no human to guide them. So I don't see them as stubborn. I see them as independent thinkers. They hear your command, for sure, but then they'll think, why should I? What's in it for me? This intelligence makes training a really unique challenge. You know, no one has ever summed up this challenge more perfectly or more hilariously than the author E.B. White. This quote is famous among dachshund owners because it is just so painfully true. It's not about a lack of intelligence, it's about a surplus of self-interest. Training is going to require immense patience, total consistency, and honestly, a very, very good sense of humor.
Okay, it's time for me to put on my serious veterinarian hat for a moment. We've talked about the charm, we've talked about the quirks, but now we have to cover the single biggest health concern for this breed. This is without a doubt the most important part of our entire discussion.
So the term you have to know is IVDD. Because of that iconic long spine and those short legs, it's a condition called chondrodystrophy, they are uniquely built for this disease. This isn't some rare possibility, it's a significant, built-in risk. It's a condition where those cushioning discs in their back can rupture and press on the spinal cord, causing incredible pain and potentially paralysis.
Now, here is the statistic that every single potential dachshund owner needs to hear and really let sink in. By the time a dachshund is just 2 years old, degenerative changes can already be seen in 90% of their spinal discs. Let me repeat that, 90%. This is not an old dog problem. The clock starts ticking from a very, very young age.
So how does this actually happen? Well, think of their spine like a long bridge that's under constant stress every single day. Those discs between the vertebrae are supposed to be shock absorbers, but they start to get hard and brittle early in life. Then all it takes is one wrong move, a simple jump off the couch, something they do every day, for one of those hardened discs to rupture, to literally explode into the spinal canal, and that is when the emergency begins.
The good news is you are not helpless here. Prevention is absolutely everything. These are the 3 non-negotiable golden rules for any dachshund owner. Number 1, keeping them lean is the single most important thing you can do. Number 2, using ramps is not a suggestion, it's a necessity. And number 3, learning to lift them correctly, supporting their entire spine, has to become second nature.
Okay, let's take a breath. We've covered the personality and the major health risks. Now let's translate all of that into the practical, day-to-day reality of living with one of these little dogs. What does it actually take?
First up, grooming. And this varies a lot depending on the coat. The smooths are pretty easy. A quick wipe down is usually all you need. The long-haired variety, though, needs dedicated brushing to prevent some really painful mats. And the wire-haireds, they take the most work, including professional grooming to maintain that special coat.
It's also worth noting that folks say their temperaments can vary a bit with their coats. The long hairs are often seen as a little gentler, while the wire hairs can have more of that feisty, terrier-like spark. Beyond grooming, the daily checklist is, well, it's constant. Training isn't just a 6-week puppy course. It's an ongoing, daily negotiation with that independent mind we talked about. Walks aren't just for potty breaks. They are vital for their mental health. And managing their diet isn't just about keeping them looking good. It's about actively preventing a life-altering spinal injury. This is a hands-on breed, every single day.
All right, we've gone through the good, the bad, and the medically critical. Now it's time to put it all together. Let's figure out if your lifestyle, your home, and your personality are truly the right match for this very demanding, but also very rewarding little dog.
So, here we are. We've arrived at the most important question of all. I've laid out the facts, the risks, and the incredible rewards. Now it's time to take a good, hard look at your life, your home, and your level of patience, and honestly ask yourself.
So, what does the ideal owner look like? Are you this person? You need the patience of a saint for training and the vigilance of a helicopter parent when it comes to their back. Your home literally has to be adapted for their safety, and you have to be ready for a dog that isn't just in your life, but pretty much becomes the center of it. And of course, a sense of humor is absolutely mandatory.
You know, ultimately, it all comes down to this single question. This captures the essence of owning a dachshund perfectly. They will rule your house, they will steal your blankets, and they will demand your complete and utter attention. But in return, they give you a bond of loyalty and love that is truly second to none. Are you ready to make that trade?
I really hope this chat has been helpful as you make this big decision. If you'd like to support veterinary news and help us create more free expert guides just like this one, maybe consider buying us a virtual coffee. Your support is what makes all of this possible. Thank you so much for your time, and whatever you decide, I wish you and your future companion all the very best.